is Dr. Pooja Marathe, community expert, and with me I bring two important experts who share their opinion, their expertise, and they would be speaking their views on this. Joining me in today's conversation is Dr. Abhishek and Seema.
Hi.
So, welcome both of you, and it's lovely to have you on this platform. Well, we just celebrated Women's Day on 8th March, but we still have a taboo in the society in regards to mental health. And when it comes to, pregnancy or post delivery, many women feel that depression or feeling of loneliness kind of sets in, but it becomes difficult for a new mother to identify, or she starts taking things on her own and starts to imbibe perfection and a guide for her newborn child. And in this process, she feels loss. So, Dr. Abhishek, would you please like to introduce yourself and start speaking on something about this?
Okay. Well, first of all, thank you for inviting me here on this beautiful platform where so many parents, so many mothers are there in your group, in your community. I'm so happy to be here. I am Dr. Abhishek. Uh, I'm a pregnancy and parenting coach, a life coach, a clinical psychologist, NLP practitioner, mentor, healer, guide, you name it, and everything is there in me. So, when it comes to pregnancy, when it comes to parenting, when it comes to couples, when it comes to babies, I am the one who should be stored in everybody's mobile because you can always count on me. So, that is me. And I personally feel and I work on emotional well being of any of the phase of your life. I will be restricting my talk and my indications today to pregnancy and parenting, right? And
Okay.
I am completely devoted and involved in women's health. And when I say health, I don't mean it by clinical, I don't mean it physical, I mean it emotional. Personally,
Okay.
I feel Dr. Pooja and Seema and all our members who are listening us right now that if any woman or anybody, any couple or any individual, if they're emotionally strong, they're mentally strong. And if they're mentally strong, they're physically strong. So this goes this way, right? Coming to the baby blues, thank you for giving me the opportunity to talk on this topic, which is of my very core of heart. The main reason for baby blues is a sudden dip in hormone levels post delivery. And of course, the environment adds fuel to the fire. A
Okay.
feeling of sadness instead of excitement in the early days of delivery, I mean, like
Mhm.
post delivery, is known as generally baby blues. Now, the beauty is that, I mean, the funny part that no matter how much you have looked forward to it, and we are preparing for the baby's welcome to anybody, the traditional system makes you vulnerable to the crying of the baby, and you fall into a guilt trap for any sensitivity of the newborn, and you start feeling, oh, I think I'm not a good mother. And this is commonly known as baby blues, which nowadays people commonly tag as PPD, postpartum depression. But I feel there is a thin line of difference.
Okay.
So, in my opinion, to end this particular point from my side, baby blues are most common. Don't get panic about it, and you may get over it within 2 weeks. But anything which goes beyond may be a sign of PPD. I think which Seema could be the good one to
Yes,
elaborate more.
rightly said. Rightly said. And we have our second speaker, Seema. She is a very well known health and wellness author who has a lot of expertise in various topics in health. We welcome you and we take the pleasure of inviting you on Baby Chakra, Seema.
Thank you so
So
much, Pooja.
it would be lovely if you share your experience on, the what research says about postpartum depression.
Okay. Thanks once again for the invitation. It's lovely to be a part of this important topic, which needs a lot of awareness amongst women and the family too, so that they encourage in case if somebody is suffering from such PPD or any kind of depression, they reach out for help at the right time. So, speaking about what research actually says about PPD, as rightly said by Dr. Abhishek, there are baby blues, which is quite normal in a lot of women. That happens for around 2 weeks. It's experienced. If that increases from 2 weeks or it goes beyond that, that's when PPD starts. That's when people start adjusting to being emotional all the time. They get used to of isolating themselves, feeling not worthy enough to take care of the baby. That's all an emotional imbalance that starts happening if there is prolonged baby blues. So as per the numbers, if you speak about, it's believed like in India there are 22% of every new mother that suffers from PPD, which is a lot. And every 1 in 10 of these mothers go undetected with PPD because there is no awareness, there is no encouragement so that they can reach out for the right help on the right time, or they just said that mental imbalance is madness, pagalpan hai wo, which is
Correct.
very discouraging for any woman to reach out for help, even if she wants to. That's the main reason why we are here. Spread awareness, let people know why exactly they need to speak up.
Correct. So as what the research says, as Dr. Abhishek say, it's an emotional connect. So Dr. Abhishek, I have a question for you. That the mothers get emotionally drained out, and that on a as a physical front it affects their feeding. So if the mother is slipping into depression, what would be the guidelines would a mother should follow on trying to stay awake and address her concerns at the earliest? So could you just throw some light on that?
Yep. Baby blues would add stress on the newborn mother and hence will affect the milk flow. Mark my words, will affect the milk flow. PPD may impact further, and the guilt for not being enough will further hamper the milk flow. So that's why I always take one meditation in my pregnancy and breastfeeding classes, and that is about all is welcome. They need to figure out everything. They need to drop down on every type of confusion and conflict happening around, and they need to completely focus on themselves. I don't mind saying that they can be selfish. They can only take care of themselves, so only they can take care of the baby. Because if any negativity or any guilt comes in mindset of a mother, newborn mama, then there is a uh, reflection coming out on her feeding pattern. The milk
Absolutely.
will come, but the milk will not have that tattva, that essence, right?
Okay.
So I always say all is welcome, and please, here comes the very important role of the mother, father, or parents, or partner. एक छोटी सी
Mm-hmm.
बात जैसे भी सीमा ने बोली, एक छोटा सा इतना सा कहना, सपोज पूजा ब्रेस्ट फीडिंग मदर है और उसको कुछ दिक्कत आ रही है, अब उसकी मम्मी या उसकी सास उसको समझाने की जगह बोल रही है, बेटा आसान नहीं है बच्चों को बड़ा करना, झेलो। इनफ है इतना ही उस मदर को पूरा ड्रेन करने के लिए।
Okay.
पहले 2 दिन, फर्स्ट 2 डेज दूध नहीं आता, ये हम सब जानते हैं जो प्रोफेशनल्स हैं, धीरे धीरे बनता है, टेक्स टाइम। उस समय कोलोस्ट्रम आता है। अभी वो 2 दिन के अंदर ही या तो हमारे घर के इमीडिएट जो बड़े होते हैं, हमारी मम्मी, हमारी सास या घर के बड़ी भाभी, उनका इतना बोलना है, बेबी तेरे तो दूध बन ही नहीं रहा है, इतना बहुत है एक न्यूबॉर्न मदर के मोरल को खत्म करने के लिए। सो यस, इट अफेक्ट्स the milk flow. So that's why you need to be out of all the things, and all is welcome, and just accept it.
I completely agree to what you said. Coming to that, I would also like to put up a case. A mother is feeding. She already has a toddler. She's feeding the toddler, and she's already handling a newborn child. So in that case, it must be so difficult for the mother. So Seema, would you like to throw some light on this kind of a situation? Like how can she deal with it? Because this is very common in India. Okay, because there is a less pregnancy age gap, and what a mother could go through. Can you just throw some light on this?
Sure. So this happens, which is classically known as tandem feeding. When the gap between two pregnancies is really less, and you have a toddler which could be around 1.5 or 2 years, and you also have a newborn. अगर टॉडलर को ब्रेस्ट फीडिंग की हैबिट अभी भी है और वो ब्रेस्ट फीड कर रहा है, टू मैनेज द टॉडलर एंड द न्यूबॉर्न विल बी वेरी डिफिकल्ट. The mother starts feeling like a mechanical toy, completely breastfeeding the entire day, going through physical pain, sore nipples, breast pain, all of that builds it. along with the emotional damage that she's already going through, because she does not feel enough कि हम मैं दोनों बच्चों को handle नहीं कर पा रही हूँ, वो emotional damage already build up हो चुका है उनमें, because she feels that, you know, I'm not able to manage the feeding time of one, maybe it's clashing with the other, maybe I'm not able to manage, I'm not a good mother. These are the emotional damage that already sets in. Along with that, when you have a feeding, you know, the pain, the physical pain because of feeding, that all sets in and can push you to depression. One thing that you can do is to use a breast pump and keep a gap between the feeding times. Ask for help. See if somebody can help you manage both the feeding times. If you pump breast milk and you keep it for the toddler, if somebody else is there in the family, they can feed the toddler and you can take care of the newborn. So it's about managing how to feed. उनको धीरे धीरे बॉटल की आदत लगवाओ. Consuming foods which are maybe, you know, Cerelac or any other solid foods, semi-solid foods, थोड़ा आदत change करवाओ कि वो थोड़ा थोड़ा breastfeeding कम कर दे. So it'll be easier for you to manage. I'm sure even Dr. Abhishek, as an expert, will have few of the tips that he might be giving.
Yes, I was just going to come to that. You know, as an expert in this field for so many years, what tips would you give to a mother to, you know, handle this scenario beautifully?
Well, I am a very unreasonable coach, you know, and I talk very out of the box, but I am very grounded, and I always believe that it is a time to revisit the old belief with a new mindset. So भिंडी तो मैं भी खिलाता हूँ, लेकिन उसको प्याज का तड़का लगा के उसमें थोड़ा अचारी मसाला मिला के नए तरीके से खिलाता हूँ. So I personally, you know, I am the modern Kanha and the modern Krishna who just come out of the Mahabharata. So I always say, with due respect to Seema and everyone, I never teach my coaching clients about giving them any preserved food. So I always feel, you know, जो महाभारत में पूतना थी, वो पूतना की कहानी जाके देखिए. जितने भी मदर्स मुझे सुन रही हैं अभियाल, मैं नहीं बताऊंगा वो कहानी, वरना पूरा समय यहीं खत्म हो जाएगा. वो पूतना आज भी है पूजा एंड सीमा,
बराबर है.
और वो है, मैं किसी का प्रमोशन नहीं करता हूँ, मैं किसी से रुपए नहीं लेता हूँ, इसलिए मैं खुल के किसी भी ब्रांड की बात कर सकता हूँ. सेरेलैक, नैन और जितने भी प्रिजर्व फूड आते हैं बच्चों के लिए, ये सब वही पूतना है. सो मैं बात करता हूँ नाचनी दीजिए, रागी दीजिए, यू नो, दलिया दीजिए, दाल का पानी दीजिए, यू नो, ये सब दीजिए. एनीवेज, जो मेरा पॉइंट है मैं उस पर आता हूँ. आई एम जस्ट यू नो सेकेंडिंग व्हाट सीमा सेड, दैट यस, you have to manage things, and I always give, you know, there are only two mantras on which Abhishek Pasari is running from last 14 years in my coaching classes and in my personal life also. One is involve and second is be truthful. So involve, include your toddler. If you have a small gap between two babies, involve the first baby to take care of the newborn baby also and the mama also. You don't take care of the baby, let baby take care of you. And be truthful, keep sharing, right? And I am, you know, as I said, I am unreasonable coach. तो मेरी जितनी भी स्टूडेंट्स हैं, मेरी जो मदर्स हैं, वो सब झांसी की रानी हैं, वो सब बाहुबली का फीमेल वर्जन है, right? So they never ask for help, they demand. They just
Okay.
demand, you know. Who are you to ask, and who the hell are other people to fulfill your asking? No, you need to demand it. You know, you're not just a mother, you're energy. So to all the mothers on the part कि इसको कैसे overcome करना है, इससे कैसे बाहर आना है, या कैसे strategy से काम करना है. So for that simple thing, mothers, you know, can safeguard themselves beforehand.
Like,
Beforehand.
like,
Like by attending or by actively pursuing antenatal classes,
okay.
courses, and recommendations by experts, not by the 99 free doctors who comes in pregnancy or post-pregnancy. Experts. So the best way, you know, to overcome PPD would be undergoing, as Seema said, conversations. I never say counseling. I say conversations.
Okay.
Talk to people whom you trust. It can, you don't have to come to Abhishek Pasari, don't have to come to Seema, don't have to come to Pooja, don't have to come to anybody. Talk to people whom you trust. It could be even your eye, even your bai, anybody, you know.
Okay.
And talk to people who can trust and support you instead of demeaning your condition. ए ऐसा तो होता ही, ये तो करना ही पड़ता है सबको, why करना पड़ता है, right? So the best way to overcome would be, let's talk. UNICEF and WHO have been doing their maximum efforts for people to open up and have made good videos on this thing, let's talk, right? And
Absolutely.
what we are doing also, we are also let's talk, doing. So people around the newborn mother
Mm-hmm.
need to be sensitized on this topic, not the mother, but the around the people around the mother, because mental health is still a taboo, right?
I agree to that. I
So
agree.
I have a set of go-to strategies. If you allow me, I'll just tell quickly.
Sure.
Number one, all the mothers, please note, have a proper support system in place. Mantra number one. Number two, go-to is adapt to a new routine. All is welcome. Please get into a new routine. Okay. Number three, indulge in activities that make you feel rejuvenated. You can book a spa. You can call somebody for a pedicure, manicure, or you can go out for some time. Rejuvenate. It could be anything. Be aware and prepare yourself for the baby's growth and development. That happens when you do any course or any coaching, or you have any parenting coach or any like-minded community जहाँ से आप अपने आप को upgrade कर रहे हो. And finally, the easy way is go shopping for you and your baby, but consciously. कुछ भी नहीं लेने का है, बस ले रहे हैं shopping. So simple, ये कुछ 4 चीजें करिए, नए रूटीन को अडेप्ट करिए, प्रॉपर सपोर्ट सिस्टम में सबसे पहले हस्बैंड आता है, राइट? मैं ये मानता हूँ कि हस्बैंड सिर्फ एक काम नहीं कर सकता है, उसके पास में ब्रेस्ट तो है, सबके पास में है, लेकिन ब्रेस्ट में मिल्क नहीं है, तो हस्बैंड सिर्फ ब्रेस्ट फीड नहीं करा सकता है, बाकी सब कर सकता है, डायपर चेंज कर सकता है, पॉटी क्लीन कर सकता है, उसको लेके घूम सकता है, वाइफ का मसाज कर सकता है, बैक मसाज कर सकता है, वाइफ को नहलाने में हेल्प कर सकता है, पैर दबा सकता है.
Absolutely.
Use a proper support system. That is my very important thing to all. Over to you.
Yeah. Thank you so much. With this, Seema, I would like to ask you. You have written so many articles, so many, so much of content about, motherhood and breastfeeding and everything. So something unique you might have come across on the tips of handling postpartum depression if the mother is in a joint family, or if she is not having any kind of a support system, what Dr. Abhishek is spoken about, or maybe some mother who is wanting to ask for help, but because of the situation is not in her favor, she doesn't know how to go about it. So could you throw some light on that?
So when it comes to postpartum depression, any kind of depression, there is one mistake that every person can, there's a thin line because of which that mistake happens actually. It's, a difference between isolating yourself and having a me time. हम हमेशा बोल देते हैं मुझे अकेला छोड़ दो, but अकेला छोड़ने के टाइम पे you don't isolate yourself. When you isolate yourself, what happens is you keep on having negative thoughts. You rethink कि नहीं मैं enough नहीं हूँ, मेरी से ये गलती हुई, मैंने क्या गलत किया, लोग ने मुझे सुनाया. That's what you keep on thinking. But when you take your me time, when you have a nice cup of coffee, read a book, have a meditation done, that helps you to go away from anxiety and depression. So that is one mistake that everybody who is nearing to depression can do, because there's a very thin line, as I said, between the two scenarios, which you should not be doing. And in joint family, when you have people discouraging you, when you have people telling you कि नहीं ये तो होता रहता है, ये तो पागलपन है, do not listen to them. It's not in a way to be rude, but find a person that you can talk to, just that one person who can encourage you, who can support you in your mental emotional health. Talk to that person. Talk about your feelings. Just talking to that one sister or your friend, or talking to a husband over a coffee will help you a lot, will help you keep you away from that all discouraging talks that your joint family, your bua, your sas, your whatever father-in-law has given you. That is very necessary. So that helps a lot, especially when you are in a joint family. Try, give reasons to yourself to encourage yourself and not discourage. Stay away from all the negative discouragement that you are possibly gonna hear. That's what the secret is.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. And coming to you, Dr. Abhishek, we always feel that postpartum depression is, stingent or told only towards women. But you being a father of three kids, okay, I would just like you to throw some light on if a male, if like a father is having a postpartum depression. They do, because the studies have revealed the numbers, but they are very minimum. So being a father, what kind of a situation would a father face? And if he is not able to come up out of it, then that is also something which backslashes the mother who is looking for a support system in a husband. So can you throw some light on this?
Well, first thing, being a father to be, you need to start early, right? Involving with your, with your wife's journey of pregnancy, maybe reading pregnancy journals to her, so that way you get to know the developments happening. Going to every doctor visit with her, maybe it takes 1 hour, 2 hour of waiting time, right? So you get to involve in the entire journey. Second, visit ho gaya. Third, make time, alter your schedules from the day one, and you give more time to your wife and be with your wife, so that you are involved from that moment. And even others are not getting, that you are not there for family business, you're not there for people around you or friends. So you start making time, you start early, and start involving yourself into this role. Plus, definitely, as Seema said, vitamin me is one thing which is short in everyone, so me
Okay.
time, right?
Yes.
That me time is very important between husband and wife, where they can discuss, they can plan the future, they should undergo any couple coaching together, and so many ways, to upgrade. I always feel, this is when you get married, when you got married, so it is a new chapter of life, correct?
Yes.
But when you have baby, it is not a new chapter of life, it is volume 2 of the new book. So you need to start that way, and that's it. And apart from that, I did, with my third baby, I have two twin boys, they're 14 years, and the third is my daughter, who is 3 years. She was delivered in Pune, and we had a bungalow over there, which was away from my house and away from my in-laws house. And I said, I'm going to take care of my wife and my kids, and my boys also will take care of the new baby. So first 40 days, I was completely there. I was not taking any coaching, any counseling, any classes, any webinar, any talk shows. And I gave a new name, Japa with Papa.
Wow.
So
That's
I was
nice.
completely with my daughter, and that helped, that helped us, that me and my wife, we both could susu train my daughter on 15th day, potty train my daughter on 20th day. And there are so many things I'm not going to speak right now, but be with your wife and be in the delivery and be from the first second with your child. You will not going to get into pre-partum, postpartum, or any partum depression.
Okay, thank you so much for your inputs. We have a question from one of the users. They are saying that, is there any problem to for a father to be when they marry late? So we have two different experts, and we would like to know your opinions. So
So let's start with the father itself.
yes, absolutely.
Yes, no, I mean, it is nothing late and nothing problematic things, age is just a number. It's all in the mind, see, there's a dialogue in the movie, where Salman Khan uses, it's all in the mind, right? So it's all in the mind. Actually, it's psychological. 90% it is psychological. It has nothing to with you being father late, or you are a mother who is late going to become a mother. Age is just a number.
Right.
We got pregnant at 40 year of age. My wife was 38 when she was again pregnant with my daughter, and the entire pregnancy she was not taking any medicine. So one of my aunt labeled my daughter that she is an organic baby. So age doesn't matter. You're getting married late doesn't matter. Problem is here. You just clear up this thing. Don't worry at all.
Seema, what
Yeah.
your thoughts
So
on this?
to add on to this, as doctor said, you need to be emotionally strong. Have that connection between your partner, which is very important. और किसी से connection हो ना हो, to build that partnerly connection with your wife or your husband is very important. Age, as well said, is just a number. It does not affect you getting depression. It's not that कि 30 के above मुझे depression हो जाएगा, 20 के नीचे नहीं होगा, ऐसा नहीं होता. If your mind is strong, if your emotions, your mental health is strong, then you might not even get depression in your entire life.
Correct.
That's all in your mind. That's all I can say.
Correct. Dr. Abhishek, there is one more question from the user that I
Yes.
have already experienced this postpartum depression in my first pregnancy. Okay, I have been through the cycle, visit to the psychologist, and come out of it very clean and everything. But now that I am into my I've planned my future pregnancies, I still have that fear in me whether would this be a part of my life again, and I don't want to go through the cycle. So, what would be that tip, that moment? How do I handle that moment, and how do I let go of my fear? This is one of the mom users who has asked us.
वेल, टू आंसर्स टू दिस. पहली बात, आप पहली बार जहाँ तकलीफ से शुरू होते हो और एक लेवल पर आकर वापस सांप सीढ़ी के गेम के जैसे नीचे गिरते हो, राइट? तो जब आप गिर के वापस शुरू कर रहे हो तो आप शून्य से शुरू नहीं कर रहे हो, आप एक्सपीरियंस के संग शुरू कर रहे हो, तजुर्बे के साथ. सो अभी यदि आपको ये फीलिंग आ रहा है कि वापस से वो सब होगा, होगा, बिल्कुल होगा, राइट? वो प्रेगनेंसी 30 पे थी, ये शायद 35 पे होगी, लेकिन उस चैलेंजेस अलग होंगे, वो अब नहीं होंगे, अभी नए चैलेंजेस आएंगे. लेकिन चूंकि आप उस प्रोसीजर से गुजरे हो तो आपको पता है उन सब के बारे में. कॉन्शियसली आप अवेयर रहोगे, तकलीफें आएंगी, लेकिन उन तकलीफों को हैंडल करना आपको आता है और आपके पास रास्ते पता है कहाँ से आपको पहले ईज आउट और ब्रेक थ्रू मिला था. सो यू ऑलरेडी नो, यू रिपीट दैट अगेन इफ रिक्वायर्ड.
ठीक है, सही है. सीमा, आपके
Same
ख्याल?
thing, you do not repeat your mistakes, especially when it comes to emotions. अगर एक बार धोखा खाया है, एक बार hurt हुए emotionally, वो चीजें वापस repeat नहीं करनी चाहिए. Which we as person we tend to do because we are emotion fools at times. But you should not. It's just a mental strength that you have to build. Again, you do not go back to the mistakes that you make. You learn from them. That's the
Right.
only secret to it.
राइट. एक लास्ट क्वेश्चन है हमारे यूजर से कि कभी कभार पोस्टपार्टम डिप्रेशन हमारे बच्चों पे भी ज्यादा असरदायक होता है, तो इसके लिए हमारे बच्चे हमारे गिनी पिग्स बन जाते हैं, ताकि कोई मदर बहुत ज्यादा चिल्लाती है या मारपीट हो जाता है, तो इस सब चीजों को हम लोग कैसे संभल सकते हैं? कुछ गाइडलाइंस इसके लिए,
वेल,
डॉक्टर अभिषेक?
मैं इसी पे काम कर रहा हूँ और मेरा एक ही कहना है, प्रिकॉशन इज बेटर देन क्योर. अभी हम जो आधी घंटे में बात कर रहे हैं तो इसमें पता नहीं कितने लोग प्रेग्नेंट हो चुके होंगे और कितने बच्चे पैदा हो चुके होंगे, राइट? और आज दिन भर में हम देखेंगे तो 1 घंटे में 70,000 बच्चे पैदा हो चुके होते हैं. आज दिन भर में 3,50,000 बच्चे पैदा हो जाएंगे. हम कब ये नहीं समझेंगे कि हम यदि कोई ट्रेनिंग लेते हैं या कोचिंग लेते हैं तो इसमें कोई नुकसान की बात नहीं है, शर्म की बात नहीं है, हम कभी हंसी का पात्र नहीं बनेंगे. तो मैं यही कहता हूँ कि पहले से अपने आप को इस नए रोल के लिए अपग्रेड क्यों नहीं करते हो? तो ये सब चीज़ें आएंगी ही नहीं आपके सामने. आई एम नॉट टॉकिंग अबाउट ओनली मी, आई एम टॉकिंग अबाउट गो एनीवेयर, बट डोंट गो टू गूगल डायरेक्टली, क्योंकि गूगल डजंट हैव आंसर्स, गूगल हैज
Right.
सजेशंस, राइट?
Right.
यदि हम गूगल पे लिखेंगे कि बेबी चक्रा ऐप डाउनलोड करने के नुकसान, तो हमें 15,000 पेजेस के लिंक्स मिलेंगे. और यदि हम गूगल पे लिखेंगे बेबी चक्रा ऐप डाउनलोड करने के फायदे, तो भी हमें 15,000 पेजेस और लिंक्स मिलेंगे. गूगल पे सब चीजें नहीं है. राइट चीजों का आंसर हम पूछने के लिए, राइट क्वेश्चन क्या हो, उसके लिए हमें कोचिंग या किसी की मेंटरिंग चाहिए. यदि हम मेंटरिंग से आगे बढ़ते हैं तो हमें ऐसा कभी कुछ नहीं होगा और इसका रिफ्लेक्शन हमारे बच्चों में नहीं जाएगा. मेरा कंसर्न कभी भी जो आज प्रेग्नेंट हुए, आज जिन्होंने डिलीवर करा, उनमें नहीं है. मेरा कंसर्न है जो नया लॉट जो बाहर आया है, ये बड़े होके कैसे इसकी परवरिश होती, मेरा वहाँ कंसर्न शुरू से रहा है.
थैंक यू सो मच. ये बहुत ही ज्यादा महत्वपूर्ण है कि जो आगे आने वाली जो जनरेशन है उनके लिए एक सिक्योर फ्यूचर होना ज्यादा जरूरी है. सीमा,
Yes.
आपके ख्यालात इस पे?
So yes, training is very very important. Training, counseling, conversation, whatever word you give it. आप अगर कल for example घर change कर रहे हो तो आप सामान उठा के चले नहीं जाओगे. You will plan things. Similarly, when you are, planning a pregnancy, plan every aspect of it. Even consider your mental health with that. Physical health, supplements, vitamins, medicines, वो सब consider करते हैं. But mental health, mental emotional balance, वो कोई consider नहीं करता. So it's important when you have, along with your prenatal visits for your physical health, start with counseling. Start by, taking smaller steps. Maybe अगर counseling start नहीं करना immediately, try meditating, try controlling your mind, try, reading some positive books, and then maybe eventually you will be encouraged to, take actual counseling, talk to the right person, and, deal with your emotional balance. That's how, you have to plan everything besides your physical planning.
That's an amazing takeaway for this session. And I would just like to sum it up. Key with your physical, visits to the doctor, also consider your mental state as a very equal and important thing, and start visiting the counselor, or start speaking up, start opening up when you're facing a problem. Secondly, when you are in a problem, you find yourself in a coop, there is a solution. It's only that you have to give a proper time to yourself and a proper time to vent it out. And the third thing is, whatever you learn, the repulsions are going to be on your kids. So whatever steps you take, short or long steps, the effect is going to be on the child upbringing. So there are the whole family is involved indirectly or directly, but identifying it and dealing with it, it's at the rightmost point, is very very important. So with this, we come to the end of the session of postpartum depression, how to handle and how to identify. It was lovely having you, Dr. Abhishek and Seema. Your inputs were very valuable, and our users on Baby Chakra app have found this very very useful. And definitely the questions were quite informative, and the giveaways were rightly set. So thank you for joining us on this live session.
Thank
Thank
you
you
so
very
much.
much and God bless you and wish you a happy life. And वुमेन्स डे कभी खत्म नहीं होता है दोस्तों, क्योंकि वुमेन का कोई डे नहीं होता है ना. हर वीक
Right.
वुमेन का है, हर हर आवर वुमेन का है, हर ईयर वुमेन का है, हर लाइफ वुमेन की है. राइट? वुमेन इज कंप्लीट. डू यू एग्री और नॉट?
Totally.
मैन इज इनकम्प्लीट. जब मैन में आगे वू फैक्टर लगता है तो वुमेन बनती है.
Absolutely.
राइट? सो वुमेन के अंदर मैन है, लेकिन मैन में कोई वुमेन नहीं है. राइट? सो नमस्ते सभी जनों को, बहुत सारा प्यार, लॉट ऑफ लव. एज डॉक्टर पूजा सेड, प्रॉब्लम है तो सोल्यूशन है. मैं बोलता हूँ कि यदि प्रॉब्लम है मतलब सोल्यूशन है, वरना तो वो प्रॉब्लम नहीं, वो स्टेटमेंट होता. सो बिल्कुल नहीं डरने का. अपने आप को अपग्रेड करो, जहाँ से कर सकते हो, जैसे कर सकते हो. और सबसे अच्छा आसान तरीका बताऊँ, कोई किताब पढ़ नहीं सकते हो, खुद को पढ़ो, सिर्फ आधी घंटा रोज. दैट्स इट.
Right.
Right? Bye bye. Lot of love. Thank you, Pooja, for inviting me over here, and I'm so happy. I'm sharing a stage with Seema Bhatia. And आप दोनों के नाम, मैं नाम का जादूगर हूँ. मैं नाम में बहुत कुछ समझता हूँ और नाम में बहुत कुछ ढूंढता हूँ. तो आपकी पूजा करते हैं, पूजा.
Thank you.
राइट? और सीमा एक ऐसी चीज है जो जो देश को बांध के रखती है,
Exactly.
समय को बांध के रखती है. तो सीमा तक जाने हैं. सीमा तक कोई भी जा सकता है, क्योंकि सीमा के आगे तकलीफ है, सीमा तक कोई तकलीफ नहीं है. राइट? सो गाइस, पीपल ऑफ बॉम्बे, डोंट मिस आउट. जूहू पे बीच पे मत जाओ, जूहू पे सीमा के पास जाओ. ओके, एंड नमस्ते एंड थैंक यू वेरी मच.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you, everybody.
बाय.
Bye.
Bye.